A city's creative identity is shaped by its artists, craftspeople, and designers, who also have an important role to play. They continue our age-old urge to create and to make things by hand. And in an age of mass production, work made by hand may be more important than ever. My name is John Baker. My wife Julie and I own a design store and exhibition space in Toronto. We believe that well-designed, beautifully crafted items have the power to enhance our everyday lives. In this series, I'm going to meet some of the people whose handcrafted production is shaping this city of makers. Brian Richer is an artist and designer. As well as producing work for his design company Castor, Brian uses his background as a stone carver to influence his contemporary artwork. I went along to Brian's stone carving studio outside the Castor workshop to find out more.
So can you describe a little bit about what you do with Castor?
Castor, we're a lighting and furniture design company. We sell in about 25 stores in the US and Europe. But some of it is a bit upcycled material, like we make a light with burnt out bulbs.
It's probably one of the most recognizable pieces.
Yeah, that's we take out burnt out fluorescent bulbs and make a shade, and then light it from within.
So you have Castor and you're doing like lighting and furniture, and in between that you have these kind of stone pieces that kind of, there's a bridge between you as an artist and a designer at Castor. Could you tell us a little bit about maybe like the beaver stool?
Well, I was an architectural stone carver before Castor. So one of our first products was a stone stool that looks like a beaver gnawed at it.
Yeah.
So, making fun of Canadian iconography a bit, and something that's so heavy you can't lift. And I do some of that in Castor, but not so much anymore. Just, it's not really viable as a product, I guess.
Yeah,
it's too heavy.
Is there an attraction to stone carving? I mean, is there, like for you, what was the attraction initially?
Well, I like the work, but it's also, there's a kind of intellectual side to it. You learn about history, architectural styles, you learn conservation philosophy. So there was this academic side that I was attracted to. It wasn't just like a trade thing.
Can you tell me a bit about your process between doing something with industrial design and then doing something, as an artist for yourself?
A lot of the pieces I've done is like the show process.
Yeah.
This is how stones lift. This is how you lift it. This is how you split stone. Really, really first principles, because I think people don't. Yeah, they don't get stone. They think there's magic, and they don't. It's a lot of work.
I honestly, I think it is magic.
Yeah, people think that.
I think, with stone, it's such a monolithic thing, and it's so heavy, and it's just, we can't imagine being able to break it down and turn it into something so crisp. Can you tell us about the calcium oxide show?
I don't know, I had this idea. I used to be a little bit obsessed with lime mortar, like traditional lime mortar. And how that's made is you take limestone, fire it to 800 degrees C, it drives off the carbon dioxide. Yeah. What's left is quicklime. So when you add water to it, it turns it into mortar. So that's how traditional mortar's made. Like on medieval buildings, they would fire limestone. So I thought it'd be interesting to take geometric shapes that I hand carved and then fire those, turn it into quicklime, but without adding water, it was just the humidity in the air, and then we would just break that geometric figure apart over the 3 weeks that it was there. So the sculptures were like a sphere and really basic geometrical figures.
Well, you said making like a sphere is the hardest thing.
Well, yeah, it's one of the hardest things to do. The perfect sphere is like...
I mean, try to draw a circle.
Yeah, I know, try drawing. Or like a square block of stone. Like that's how you learn how to do stone carving, making cubes. Mm-hmm. 6 sides are square to each other. There's a couple wall pieces. I took a carving that I did for St. Mike's Cathedral here, and I made quicklime with it, and then I made that into plaster, and then plastered pieces of plywood. It was actually quite hard to do. And I did another piece there that was a heavy obelisk that I carved, but Again, it was just to show this is how stone's lifted in shops. It is a truth, simple truth, but it's not revealing anything about ourselves. But I don't know, I like doing that, revealing how things are actually made.
Yes. So Brian, what are you working on next?
I'm planning to do some letter carving,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna get a pretty big slab of marble and letter cut Book of Job, word for word, letter for so I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
So it'll be, it'll be etched in my memory forever.
It's such a symbolic thing. I mean, like carving out letters on a stone, right?
And I think it makes it like legitimate. Or I don't know, it makes it like forever.
It's the most legitimate, I guess. Yeah.
Commandments.
Exactly. Toronto, is it a nurturing place? Is it a place that is good to be an artist?
Yeah, I think so as a community, but I find, not to be too negative, but getting international recognition is pretty difficult. We've been fortunate in the design stuff to get that. I think just because when we came out, there was nothing going on.
People are they're so hungry for it, but they don't necessarily know how to direct it. Yeah. You know what I mean? But they're there and they're excited. So in your studio, we walked by kind of these piled stone cubes. So what are they?
They're stone boxes.
Yeah.
But I was trying to think of a product or a sculpture, but it's just like boxes that stack together and then things will be inside.
But they're
basic.
But they're not that simple.
No, they're actually, again, that's one of the hardest things to do. Square and that deep is very difficult to do.
And they're not laminated corners, like they're actually.
No, it's carved from a block of stone, like gutted out. I did it by hand, but it looks like it's done by a machine. And another thing we're working on is we're doing stone speakers. So it'll be like monolithic. It's very good for sound quality, but also I think it'll look quite nice. It's these big, kind of heavy stone speakers. So part of that is working that out with this.
Well, that's the nice thing. It's all the processes inform other things.
Yeah, it's quite a grind. The design business, like the business side of it.
Yeah.
Kind of at the level we're at, it's a lot about business. It's really 20% design, 80% running the business. So it's been, it's a little bit more fun doing the artwork right now.
Yeah. Well, thanks for chatting with me today.
You're welcome, John.